Diaphragm, what? So how well do you know your diaphragm? And do you know that your diaphragm and your breath can be one of your biggest allies towards sleep health? I recently wrote a blog post on my website restfulsleep.eu regarding how your breath can be an ally towards sleep health and how you can use your breath and breath patterns to create a relaxed state of the nervous system that aids into getting you to unwind and to get restful sleep. I find the breath to be fascinating. So breath is one of the few processes in the body that is both automatic, so it happens without us even needing to think about it. And it is also a process that you can willfully control. So whenever you want, you can stop your breath and have it resume. At the same time, every emotion that we are in and every state that we find ourselves in has a certain corresponding breath pattern. Even if you've never thought about it, just think about it for 1 minute with the following thought experiment. Think about the state of anger. Remember the last time that you were angry. Really put yourself in the situation. Hopefully it's nothing too triggering. And now, can you remember what kind of breath pattern you had in your body or you were doing in your body in a state of anger? More often than not, the emotion of anger is followed by an irregular breath pattern. It's quite short, maybe even forceful and loud, probably very sharp, and often it's located in the chest. And now, contrary to that, when you think about a state of ease or relaxation, maybe even relief, the breath pattern is a bit different. So try to put yourself in the last situation in which you felt relief, like a sense of ease and relief. How was your breath then? It's very probable that you were breathing more from the belly, that you were breathing more regularly, more stably, more slowly. And this goes for every imaginable emotion and state. Granted, each one of us expresses that emotion and state a bit differently, but there are certain breath patterns that you do in each of these states. Now, why do I find this so exciting? So take these two things together. So if the act of breathing can be a willfully controlled one, and if each state that we're in has a corresponding breath pattern, to me that means that we can willfully create the state and emotion that we want to live. The idea would be that creating this breath pattern in your body actually simulates in your body the emotion and state that you want to be in. It's sort of a slight fake it till you make it situation in which we're, by creating an artificial breath pattern, we're actually telling our body that we're feeling this way. And in turn, our body starts to respond, our nervous system starts to respond in a different way. But don't believe me on this. Try it out yourself. Of course, in order to do this, you will need to create bit by bit a practice in which you start understanding how is your breath pattern in the states that you want to create, so that you can practice bit by bit applying them to real life situations and seeing if they actually change your state. This is where the exercise that I want to offer you today comes in. A good place to start is starting to understand how your breath works. And that's why today I want to talk about the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is the most important muscle in the process of breathing. It is a dome-shaped muscle that is located somewhere around here. And basically, it divides your torso in two. Above it is the chest cavity that hosts the lungs and the heart. And below it is the abdominal cavity that hosts the stomach and different internal organs. Every inhale, the diaphragm as a muscle contracts and flattens out and allows the chest cavity to expand so that your lungs can fill up with air. And with every exhalation, your diaphragm again relaxes, allowing the air to be pushed out of your lungs. Now I want you to simulate the movement of the diaphragm with me, so I invite you to interlace your fingers and have the elbows down, and this would be the relaxed shape of the diaphragm. Now on an inhale, start bringing the elbows up, simulating how the diaphragm flattens out. And on an exhale, bring the elbows back down. And keep doing this, pairing it with your own inhales and exhales. And you can do this with the eyes closed. And maybe you even start feeling the actual movement of the diaphragm in your torso. Imagining how with every inhale, the diaphragm flattens out and pushes down, allowing also your belly maybe to expand. And how with every inhale, it relaxes and goes up. And do this a few times in the rhythm of your current breath. But you can also practice giving your breath and the movement of your diaphragm a different rhythm, maybe going a little bit faster. And seeing how a change in the rhythm maybe changes even your state. How does a different breath pattern create a different state and maybe even a different story in your head? So this is a very small exercise designed to get you familiar with the diaphragm, but also get you interested in the breath. So thank you so much for participating and for watching so far. If you have any questions, feel free to write to me either below in the comments, or you can write to me at info@restfulsleep.eu. And check out my webpage, restfulsleep.eu, for the blog post that I was mentioning in the beginning, but also for other blog posts that are connected to sleep health. I will be coming back onto this platform with more videos on sleep health, but specifically also more on breath and how we can use the breath to create more sleep quality. Have a wonderful evening.